Hi, everyone. We're back for another amazing episode for the Love of Health business group for holistic health professionals who are ready to grow their businesses online. I'm here with Amy Tsai. She is coming to us live from Toronto, Canada, and she is the founder of Fit and Fierce Over 40. And she is a weight loss coach, and her program is called the Intuitive Diet Program, where she's going to help us learn how to lose weight, but also not have to do diet. So I'm really excited about listening in on this. I know this is something that I hear quite a bit from people. Hi, Amy. How's it going today?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for having me here, Laura. What a pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. So why don't you tell us, how long is this intuitive diet program? Who is like ideal? Who is ready and right for your program if they wanted to sign up for you today?
Right. Well, it's for women over 40. That's my niche, and women who are just sick and tired of being on the diet treadmill and never getting any success. And women that's really, are interested in doing the work, who are my clients, because this kind of work is unlike a diet where, you basically get to eat all the foods that you want to eat without any guilt or shame. That's what we work towards, and still be able to lose weight. And it is possible. Hard to imagine with being, because diet culture is such a huge culture in our lives in North America. People are like, how do you lose weight without being on a diet? So anyone who's tired of it, because women suffer for not even years, we're talking decades of diet culture with very little success. And it seems like women who are, as we get older, they say it gets harder, but it's the wrong approach, and women feel like they're actually tackling the wrong problem with the wrong solution, unfortunately. And those are the women that I help.
Awesome. So how did you come about choosing this particular group of women, this age group? Did it come from just how it naturally occurred, or did you have a calling to this? Yeah, tell us a little bit more your process to figuring out your target audience.
Well, I'm a long-time fitness coach. I've been, training clients and teaching classes for over 25 years. And when I hit 40 and going through my perimenopausal phase, it was like nobody was talking about what we're all going through. And then when I hit 50, I actually launched Fit and Fierce when I was 49. So now I'm 52, and I realized that there was a big need for this kind of help for women. Exactly like sex. I've been training clients for 25 years, and there's just always been a struggle with body image and weight loss, were the two biggest issues women have. And as women got older, add on age and as well as like a body pain, it has become a big category for me as well. So I literally help women lose weight, regain energy, feel body confidence, so getting that body image back into a healthy relationship with themselves, and the body pain. So those are my big four categories. So I came from the world of fitness and transitioned into the coaching role. And because I went through this horrible hormonal phase, I was like, okay, we need to come together as a community, and let's support each other, and let's help each other get through these changing times in our lives. Because just because you're getting into middle ages doesn't mean your life is over. Your life is just beginning.
I love that. I think I have a perfect collaborator for you. I just had the privilege of interviewing. Have you heard of this? She's a coach named Jean Andres. I believe she's in the podcast group as well. Jean Andres. She's a menopause coach specifically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you guys have a really great collaboration, because borrowing audiences and getting on each other's pages and Instagrams, because her focus is not the fitness, her focus is just the body literacy and understanding the hormones and what's going on. And then you could talk about the weight loss.
Oh boy, I'm losing you here, Laura. I got a little bit of technical difficulty going on here. Let's see.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now.
Awesome. And so it'll be great to have these episodes lined back to back, like I think they're supposed to be, for Women's History Month, which starts March 1st. So
yes.
Yeah, focusing in specifically on women in perimenopause, menopause, so women over 40. Well, thank you for sharing that aspect. And I'm sure that there's a lot of knowledge that you bring to the table just because of that personal fitness background. So tell us a little bit about how you work with clients. Are you doing it on a virtual basis? Have you always done virtual, or are you doing both in-person session work still? Tell us about your process.
Okay, that's a great question. So because I came from fitness, I actually still have some training clients. So that has not, that previously was my majority of my business, but now it's just like a very small portion of my business because I still have a local group of women in my community that I help with in terms of fitness. But most of Fit and Fierce itself is actually a virtual business. So I have a group coaching as well as private coaching available for them.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing your business for, your coaching business?
It's been 3 years. So literally I launched it just before the pandemic. I launched it in December 2019. So
Wow. And is your group program, how are you distributing it? Are you doing it through like a third party site, or like are you using a Google Drive folder? How do people access that material?
right, that's a really good question. So I use Kajabi. I use Kajabi as a major platform for most of my courses, as well as to run my business. So all my landing pages and my email campaigns and all that stuff is run through there.
That's great. So when you can tell us a little about, if you want to, about that shift from moving from more physical in session to an online. What was going through your head at the time? When did it feel like it was the right next step to do that?
Well, I've been thinking about it for a good 8 years. So it literally took until, I kind of dabbled in online, but I really didn't understand the process. And it's a completely different beast than being in person. So I really didn't know what I was in for, to be honest. And it was when I met my business coach that I realized that I needed, that she was the person that I was looking for. So I belong to a lot of business networking groups. And it was just like, meeting people and just not really realizing what I was looking for until she landed on my lap. And when she did, I was like, oh my goodness, she's the one. And because she landed on my lap, I had to say yes, because that was what I had wanted. So if it fell on my lap, I got to say yes. So I was with her for almost 3 years. Like we literally just parted ways, like just recently, just probably in the new year. So I've been on my own just for the last, I guess, 90 days. And she's taught me a lot, because it was the marketing piece that was the hardest part for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's not unusual. I hear that from a lot of the practitioners who I've spoken with, interview, that the marketing is just a really hard part of that
Yes.
whole thing. And also just the willingness to invest in a coach, or the hard part of feeling that kind of that scary. So what kind of piece of advice would you give to someone who might be considering that kind of investment, but feeling a little bit scared or a little bit hesitant?
Right. I would say follow your heart. You can't be afraid to ask for help. And if it means paying for it, it's the best money you'll ever spend, because it's less about throwing darts, wondering where it's going to go, versus throwing the dart and aiming for the bullseye. It was literally that big of a difference for me. And there was no way I could have done it on my own. It would have been, you would have spent more money and you would have spent more time, and it would have been way more frustrating than just hiring somebody that is qualified and that knows what you're looking for. That's totally the way to go. I'm all about asking for help. I'm not afraid of asking for help.
Good. I completely agree with you. And so how fast did you see your return on investment, and what kind of things happened that were like, oh, that was a no-brainer decision. That was definitely a win for me.
I would probably say it was trial and error, and it's trial and error all the way through. Like it's always trial and error. You have to try things out. And although, I probably didn't get my own voice until at least 2 years into the business, in all honesty. So it's only now that we've parted ways that I'm actually able to, know my product, because I had to create my own product. That took me 2 years to create my product. That's an intuitive diet, because you just don't know until you know. And it was a lot of fumbling around, and that's with direction. And I should say fumbling around, but it's literally trial and error, because you gotta understand how you're gonna talk to how how to talk to your ideal client, let alone you got to know who your ideal client is, right? And then coming up with a product, and then the whole marketing, which includes copywriting, right? Which was like a whole nother beast for me. And that huge marketing piece was a big deal. So return, I never count dollars and cents, because for me, it's what I wanted to do, and it's what made me happy. So as long as I was happy in the process, I didn't really count the dollars and cents, to be honest. And maybe that's not very good advice, but that's just who I am. I'm not necessarily a money person. I'm more focusing on who I can help as a focus versus how much money am I earning. Because I figure if I can help more women, that means I'm going to earn more money. So I focus on the help and the assistance and building the community versus the dollars and cents.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could do that easily by looking back at like if you hit your goals or your benchmarks too, right? With like,
Yes.
number of clients and like the numbers in the list versus the time that you started and things like that.
Yeah, and it's really hard at the beginning because you just don't know. It's like, okay, yeah, you want to earn your money back, but at the same time, do you have a product? Are you talking to the right audience? Are you speaking to them properly? Right? So you got to think of all these things beforehand before you can even think about dollars and cents. So you got to all those ducks has to get in a row, and that alone takes time. And for me, once I started, I couldn't turn back. It was like I couldn't even stop myself if I wanted to. I'm on this path. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even stop. It's like I got to keep going.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you're totally right. Honing it on the product, building that foundation, building that list, those things have to happen first before you start like really building some goals and things like that around it. Like a launch period, which I help my clients do. So being able to like work backwards from the goal rather than, just going forward in time.
Yes.
So like, how many people do you need to be talking to in order to be able to get that 20%, 2%, conversion, things like that. And I'm still personally getting very comfortable with it, but it's like definitely, it makes me feel like, oh, okay, this is all making sense to me. And I can feel like the energy, but it's always a question of like, how willing you want to be up in the space, how passive you want to be in your business. So where are you at now? You have your program. Is it full? Are you looking for more clients currently? What are some of the things what you're looking forward to in 2022?
Yeah, I think for me, it's really building my list and building a community. And I think that's probably goal number one. And of course, with that comes the clients, right? But I finally I literally just launched it last week, my intuitive diet program. And so that's a really big piece of it. And it's really growing my audience is my priority number one.
Awesome. So you just launched your program?
I just launched my program last week.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
That's great. So this officially is like your thing now. Like, this is what you're doing.
This is what I'm doing. And it took, and it's so funny, Laura, I realized about 3 years ago, maybe about three and a half years ago, I said to a couple of girlfriends who are also entrepreneurs, I said, I want a journal. I want to create a journal, like a fitness journal, right? Or a weight loss journal. But I didn't really know. I just knew what it was, but I didn't know what it meant or what it was in it. Well, you know what? 3.5 years later, it's finally here. It's been a week since I launched it. So it's like, oh, look at that. Huh.
Awesome. So the weight loss journal is like another additional product. You have a physical product?
Yeah, so this is part of the intuitive diet. The intuitive diet is really a journal that is incorporated with, so it's a journal plus the teaching. The teachings is live, the live group coaching, or if you're a private client, then we do the one-on-one coaching, and then with the video curriculum that's in the back end inside Kajabi. So
I love that. That's so creative. How fun. And what a nice kind of perk and surprise to give a lot of people value in their program.
Yeah. And the thing is I love giving value, right? For me, it's all about, helping women feel better in the bodies, because, diet culture is so big, and, so many women are unhappy in their bodies. And if I gave you the statistics, actually, is that 91% of women are unhappy in their bodies. 91%, Laura, that's massive. And when you think about it, think about your circle of friends and women that you're surrounded by, who's happier in their body. I mean, you can probably count on 3 fingers, probably, right?
Well, with 91%, that means like almost everybody has dissatisfaction.
Exactly. Exactly, right. And that comes in all shapes and sizes. You know, it doesn't matter if you're the right weight, the heavier weight, or what size, what shape, what age. It doesn't matter. Like it all comes in all different shapes and sizes. The people are unhappy, women are unhappy in their bodies. So it's really an epidemic. You know.
Yeah. I never heard it framed that way, and I can hear in your voice that it's something you're actually pretty passionate about, like a mission. So that being said, are you going to get a little bit more macro with this? Are you going to continue to work with the people over 40, or do you see yourself maybe extending this to other audiences and other age groups since it's such a pervasive issue?
Right. And that's a really good question. You know, for now, I'm going to stick with the women over 40 just because there's the hormonal piece aspect to it, you know, the aging and, you know, coming to terms with the our aging self, you know, you know, I mean, I'm still going through it. It's like coming to terms with your own mortality in a lot of respects. So for now, it'll be women over 40.
Oh, lovely. Well, I always finish these conversations with asking everybody, you know, what are your current challenges? What is something specific that you are trying to work on right now? Just to put it out there and see how we can support you.
Right. I mean, copywriting for sure is a big challenge. I've gotten better, but you know, it could always still be better. I mean, definitely my percentages are up. You know, I used to be at 5% open rates, now to like 15% open rates. So that's good. But the click rate is still kind of low. It's probably under 10, maybe even less than that. So copywriting is a big one for me. And yeah, I'll probably say that's number one. Number two, and it's probably related to it, is like growing your audience, right? Keeping those funnels, making sure that they're working.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm like just playing with a couple different things. Yeah, testing the funnels, making sure they work. Mm-hmm. And yeah, copy is a gift. That's why there's some people, that's what they do for a living. I actually just connected with a lovely copywriter in Canada, actually. She's in Toronto, I think. Her name's Christine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'll be happy to connect. She's in our community.
Yeah, so, please do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah, great work overall. Some people who that's their passion, and obviously conversion is about 20% is the average rate for all fields, and the highest open rate is the health field. So that's the latest statistics coming out. So you're just right under that average. Honestly, it's a pretty good open rate, and improving on click-through rate, maybe subject lines and things like call to actions and buttons and things like that. But yeah, you could look at that for sure. But yeah, those are great goals to work on and definitely matter for like a launch process, which is what you're currently in. Yes. All right. So how can people get to know you in the group? If I'm going to be tagging you, but you also can list any website you'd like me to include. What is the main way you'd like people to get in touch with you right now?
Oh, well, thank you. You can find me in the Facebook community. So I do have a public Facebook group and a private free Facebook group for women over 40. And that's where I give most of my values inside the private community, just because it's private, women feel more comfortable. So they can find me at Fit and Fierce over 40 in the community. I can drop you a couple links as well. Or you can just find me on Facebook, Amy Tsai, or drop me an email, like nobody sends random emails anymore. Hey, just say hi. That would be great. And I also do have some new events coming up. So I have the Love Your Body Week. We just finished one in January, which is a 5-day fuel your body cleanse. So it's a 5-day cleanse where the women get to decide what their cleanse is going to look like. So it's not about me telling them what to do, because that would be diet culture. And like you get to create your own, how your cleanse is going to be. So that's for 5 days. And then we have a Love Your Body workshop. So because women are feeling so good after the 5 days from fueling your body with whole foods and nutrition, we do a body image workshop for 2.5 hours. So we just did that in January. I've got one coming up in April, the beginning of April as well. And the page is ready. I just finished it today.
Yeah, no, this sounds super awesome, very creative and packaged so well. Thank you so much for sharing those. And we look forward to supporting you further in our community, as well as sending you those direct relationship referrals. Because I think
Perfect.
John, and the menopause coach, would be a great one for like an IG live or something like that. Because she's launching a book right now, a second part of her book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, let's connect. I would love that. And if
Yeah,
there's
no,
anything to connect you with anyone, by all means, just ask away. I'm more than happy to share my Rolodex.
awesome. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, I'm looking for health practitioners who are just shifting online and are ready to start thinking about that movement from being single session, in-person session, to something else online, like a group program, which you did. And it sounds like you did it confidently, with the support of a coach, which is exactly what I recommend too, because it was kind of a no-brainer, but only after getting over that, oh my gosh, this is like so risky and so scary.
So true. I mean, like all I saw was a dollar figures going, oh my goodness. And I realized, okay, if I want to do this, you have to have help. There's no, it's just, you got to make it easier for yourself. Right. And the moment I spent that money, it was completely forgotten. I was like, okay, you know what? The money spent, and I now see the value in the help that I was getting, and the direction and the support. And it made 100% all the difference in the world.
And I have actually one more question, and thank you for saying that. Like, so you are fitness, and you have so much experience in person. So, 'cause I know physical fitness, you're literally over with someone watching them. Have you been able to transfer any of that kind of energy to a camera video series? Do you do workouts in your video content?
I do actually. So I offer inside the community a weekly workout. So I alternate between a 30-minute workout, which basically I alternate between a mobility class, a stretch class, and a core class. And in between those three classes, fitness classes, I put in an exercise lab. And what that is I break down a very specific exercise and show women how to do them properly. Because in teaching classes and training clients for 25 years, I saw a slew of mistakes. And this is just to help them understand their body and where their body is in space, and how to engage those muscles properly so they don't hurt themselves. So I do offer that inside my community as well. And I do Facebook Lives once a week. And then because most of my stuff is online, I have, let me think here. That's pretty, but I think that's about it for now. That's pretty, other than the stuff inside Kajabi, of course.
Yeah, no, it's so impressive. Your packaging is really impressive. It's very creative too. They have really good outcome-based names, and it's obviously founded in a lot of research and your own background, very strong. So what is the name of your Facebook group? 'Cause I think I want to join that. I'm not over 40. Is that okay?
Of course, come. It's called Fit and Fierce Over 40 Community. I'll drop you some links when I get back to my desk. I'll share some links with you for sure. Okay. Yeah, absolutely join, for sure.
Yeah, no, that sounds really great. And I would just love to see how you have that set up. But I think that we have a lot of fitness and personal instructors in our community. And I think that could be really beneficial for them to hear that process and how it's possible to shift some of those things online in their own positioning, of course. So thank you again, Amy, for coming on today. And thanks, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. What a pleasure.